Welcome to the Shake Up Podcast. I'm your host and co-founder of Mr. Consistent, Jared Bell. This is a podcast where we invite friends of the brand into our studio. We get to know their story a little bit better. We chat all things business, culture and marketing, all while shaking up a few cocktails. In the studio this week, founder and creative director of Who is Elijah, Raquel Bouris. We chat with Raquel about her inspiration in all things Who is Elijah. Her brand has made their mark through creating high-quality, handcrafted, vegan, cruelty-free fragrances. They've really set the bar high in the Australian fragrance industry. So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shake Up. We have a very special guest all the way from Sydney, flew in this morning for this episode. Welcome, Raquel.
Hello.
She is the founder of Who is Elijah. How do you say it? You give it to me.
Eau de Perfume.
Eau de Perfume. Also known as, what does that stand for?
Translate to perfume water.
Perfume water. What did you call it? Fragrance house before?
Yes, you could call this a fragrance house.
Absolutely. Raquel has literally flown in for this episode. We are so excited to have you. She's just had a little lunch down the road at a very special restaurant. Raquel, tell us about yourself. How did you fall into perfume? Like, what's the story?
It's a bit of a funny story. So just over 4 years ago now, I went to Coachella. All magic things happen.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I would have been 23 when I went. And I was with a group of girlfriends and my now husband. We had just started dating. So one of the girls that joined our sort of group in Vegas, she just smelt amazing, and I'd never been.
I really like how you smell.
I really liked how she smelled. It was so intoxicating, and I'd never I was never such a big fragrance person either, so it was something that really stood out and grabbed my attention. And so I found out what she was wearing, and it was just this little bottle of oil, fragrance oil that she got from India backpacking. And she's a very cool out there person, but she smelled amazing.
Gypsy if you want.
Gypsy. Yeah, so I just kept thinking about it and continued with my travels and came back home and tracked down the bottles online. I think they were like $30 for 10 bottles of this little oil. I think it was like 8 mils of oil. And I started bringing it back home, and I live in Sydney, in Cronulla, and I started bringing it there and in the eastern suburbs around Bondi, and people were coming up to me, tapping me on the shoulder saying, "What are you wearing?" And I was like, I can't even tell you what I don't even know what it's called. And I come from a sort of like a corporate background, so I guess kind of business savvy.
Yeah.
So I just sort of had a light bulb moment and thought, why don't I try and make it into a perfume, and try and make a career or a job out of it, or if not, a little hobby on the side.
Yeah.
So that's sort of how it started.
Yeah, cool. And what did you do before that all happened? What did you do while that was all happening?
Yeah, so I actually quit that job that I was in the middle of last year, thanks to COVID. So I was an executive assistant for the executives of the company.
Yep.
It was a luxury hotel group. Shout out Christabrook Collection. So I was there for about 3 years before I left and pursued Who is Elijah full time. I think we were for whatever reason, very lucky during COVID.
Yep.
I think because I was in the hotel industry, we all sort of got sent home and put down to limited hours.
Yeah.
So I had so much time to actually focus on the business, where I was very sort of half. And I think it was in May I did crazy amount of online sales, and it was 3-4 times what I made in a month working. So I
saw the opportunity and just went for it,
and I just quit, and haven't looked back since.
That's such a cool COVID story, because ours is very similar. Like ours was like, we'd had the brand, we had everything like ready to go. We just didn't know where we sat. We were like, oh, this works in a venue here. Will it work in every venue? Like Jeremy, my business partner, used to own a venue. We're like, this is working so good here. Will it translate? And then all the venues closed. Like all my marketing work dried up. And I was similar to you. I was at home with a toddler. My wife was at home as well from her job. She was on reduced hours working from home. Yeah. And we're like, let's just give this thing a red hot crack. And I think COVID either made people sink or swim, like you've done. That's like kudos to you. Like it's not like I've had a couple of businesses and I know what it takes to get something up and running, and the cost of like getting
Anything?
a product. Yeah, the cost of anything in COVID as well. But then also actually getting a product on the shelves. Like you've got to pay for packaging, you've got to pay for bottles, you've got to pay for all the ingredients that go into your perfumes. You've also got to spend all that. Like that's all cost before you even sell a single perfume. So kudos to you. Congratulations.
You too.
It's very cool to have you here and telling this story, and you like we'll go through your brand and stuff. But who's Elijah? How'd you come up with the name? Who is he?
Bit of a funny one. Again. So I actually had a business partner at the conceptualization of the business.
Yep.
No longer have a business partner.
Yep. Shout out Elijah. Was
no,
that his name?
I'm not going to say his name.
Nah, fair enough.
But we're still really good friends and
Yep.
he's amicable. But he actually introduced me to the girl who smelled amazing at Coachella. So
Yeah,
they
right.
were really good friends. And we were both obsessed with it, and we bought the bottles together and we're wearing it
Yep.
back at home. So he was a part of that early stages. Creative differences. I don't know what it was in me, but something just told me, like, do this, like keep going. And we couldn't actually make that a similar scent to that oil. It was just too complex apparently. So they couldn't even tell me what was in it. So
Which is no good.
Which is no good, but I mean, kudos to them. Just creative differences. I just kind of said, not give him an ultimatum, but just said, look, I really want to do it. You're in or you're out. And he decided to
step out.
So he originally wanted to call it Raquel and Elijah. His name isn't actually Elijah.
Yep.
I didn't really want to use my name.
Yep.
And then I was sitting at work at my other job, and I just sort of said to myself, who is Elijah? And that's it.
That's it. That's how it started.
That's it. I don't know how I feel about sharing that story, but I think it's funny. But I never want it to sound like a perfume name.
Yep.
Like, we're not French, definitely not in France. So I didn't want to use that sort of cliche or just wanted to use, that's it.
It's all about brand. It's all about how people relate to the brand. Like I remembered it as soon as I saw the bottle. Like my wife bought me. That's how I came across you guys. My wife bought me the bottle up at the Carlisle, and she brought it out, and I was like, I immediately looked at the packaging, and that's what was drawn to me. Like that's like I'm a designer. That's kind of where my eye gets taken first, and I'll purchase something purely based on label or whatever it looks like, and then the other things come with it. If it's a good product, I'll repeat purchase those kind of things. So that's kind of how I roll out, and that's like you got me. Your packaging's beautiful. It's very sleek. It's very cool. His hers being like anyone can wear it.
Yeah.
So good
for all bodies.
Absolutely. Anyway, we are going to make another drink, and you're going to do the speed test, and we're going to see how fast you can make a cocktail.
So fast.
I'm number one, just so you know, on the board. And what I make it in 22 something?
22.54.
54, yeah.
What do you got to get to be in the top three?
29.76 is third place.
9.76. I'll walk you through it. It's pretty easy.
Excited.
You've drunk the product before. You said you hadn't shaked a product before. Have you shaked a cocktail before?
I don't think so.
Whoa, this is going to be good.
You're looking pretty safe, Kelsey.
I might be safe, but like Mikey, our co-founder, what's he in?
Fifth.
He's the bartender. Like he's the guy who comes up with our products. He's the guy who makes our mixes. He's the bartender.
Okay.
And he's sliding down slowly.
Okay.
He's sliding down every episode. But yeah, let's see.
You could come out and be
I
first.
could come out on top.
It could come out on top. Let's have a go. All right, let's get into it. All right, we're here. We're doing the speed test. Raquel. How you feeling?
Nervous.
We'll pull this over. Don't.
Oh, yeah.
We'll point it there.
Little midget.
There we go. There you go. He's pointing at you. I'll commentate anyway. I'm going to walk you through it. The whole deal, 75 mils of mix, 45 mils of tequila. Got to shake it 5 times. Once you put the ice in, strain it out, put your fruit on top, and then you're done. And I'm going to time it. And to get into the top 3, we've got to beat 29.76. I'm going to help you get there.
Thank you. Ready when you are.
All right. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, go. And we're going to go on go. Look at that. That's the time from last time. It's still on my phone. All right. Reset. All right. You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go. 75 mils all the way to the top and then dump it in. Fill. Go. And then 45 mils, so second line down of the tequila. Doing good so far. Keep going. Pour it. Ice. 1 scoop, remember? 1 scoop, bang.
Good.
Glass on top. Shake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, take the
Bang
lid
it
off.
out.
Bang.
She's
Forgot the strain. Oh, no. That's how many penalties? Stop. 27.82. A margarita on the rocks.
Pretty fast. Are we counting that?
What? We're going to come up with a penalty for not straining.
Is that 1 second? 2 seconds.
No, what's a head? Yeah, it might be a 2 second. Is it a 2 second penalty?
Steve.
Even if I give you a 2 second penalty, you're still going to the top 3.
Oh, okay.
All right, I reckon no strains a 2 second penalty.
Yeah, we'll go 2 seconds.
2 second penalty.
Happy with that, Kirsten?
Is that fair and reasonable? Do you want to take this one to the judiciary, or you want to?
We'll go video replay.
You accept your punishment
Hey,
of
you've
2
gone
seconds.
That means you're in third.
That, my friends, is somebody who has never made a cocktail, just made a margarita on the rocks.
Hold the strain.
Hold the strain.
No strain. No time for strain.
Margarita on the rocks, garnished to my front door in 27.82 seconds. That is.
Oh, that's fourth.
Is it?
Oh, 27. Oh, fuck. Geez, sorry. I was wrong.
Thank you for being on my team.
What did we end up over there, Tommy? 29.82 or something?
29.82 with the 2 second penalty.
29.82 with the 2 second penalty.
About 10 ice cubes.
And a icy little number over here that I'm drinking now. Delicious. And cold. Watered down also.
Delicious.
What we know a little bit how the brand started, obviously from traveling overseas. What kind of inspired you to do it? How the bloody hell do you start? Where do you even start in making it? I don't want you to give away your secrets,
okay.
but how do you even start a perfume brand? Where do you even start in blending flavors and flavors or scents that remind you of things? Blows my mind. And we do very similar things here, where you make something we're working to a taste profile. The drink that you're drinking, the Surf Stitch one, is a pineapple and mandarin sour. That drink doesn't exist. We made it to taste to what Mikey wanted it to taste like. Essentially, makes all our products. How do you guys go about that?
Yeah, so we work with a perfumer. So
that's a job. Somebody who's just
a
scent professional.
Yeah, it's quite recently actually we did a bit of a nose training. It's not what you think it is.
You live in Bondi.
So we did a bit of a perfume masterclass with a nose trainer.
Yep.
And they really talked us through where perfume originally came from, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's too extensive to go into it right now, but it's really interesting, and there's quite a real big science behind it. So I work with the perfumer to create our fragrances, but he sort of teaches me along the way, what works with what. Otherwise, I would have no idea how to do it on my own. But we're definitely learning how to do it. Yeah. But so we do need to work with our perfume to do it. Google was my best friend for quite a long time. I think it was about probably 9 months of research to try to find the perfumer whom we work with now. Did
you go through others? Do you try other ones?
We did. We sort of got samples from 2 others, all within Australia, and they couldn't
get your vision,
right?
They
just didn't get our vision. And who we work with now, Abdul, he's just incredible. He gets it. He's really invested in who is lighter, and as we've grown, he's grown as well. So it's been a really beautiful partnership.
More perfumes you guys put out, the more work's created for him. Yeah. Where's he based out of?
Sydney. So they're in
That's really lucky during the COVID times, because I can't imagine sending scents backwards and forwards from somewhere else around Australia would be fun.
Next day, and even just because perfume is classed as a dangerous good because of the ethanol or the alcohol used, shipping's a nightmare. So we can go and pick it up ourselves. They're about half an hour away, 40 minutes away from our office, which is very helpful.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then you just you wrap the name around those, how does say his, her, which is Is that your bestseller?
Yes.
It is. Like, that's what I wear. That's how
Yeah.
we connected. But like, how do you come up with the name, the brand, everything that then is wrapped around that product?
So His Her was our first fragrance, our first creation. The name, honestly, I was just sitting at my desk doodling with a pen and paper, and I just wrote his on top of her.
On somebody else's time.
Yep.
We're all
I
great
can say
ideas.
that now.
Where all great ideas start. Somebody else's time.
I know. Yeah. So honestly, it was just like a light bulb moment, I guess you can call it. Her was my second creation.
Yep.
Still those for the first 3 fragrances, I was still running the company by myself.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have a team to sort of like I do now to bounce ideas off. I mean, I had my friends but I kind of just sort of did it all internally at the start, which is a bit sad now that I think about it. A bit lonely.
You trusted you, yeah.
But my husband, he's amazing and he's very creative and sort of was my sounding board.
Yep.
The stories, I don't know. I think that we still evolve the fragrance stories even now. Like the stories of them when we first launched them have evolved quite a little bit. And I think we try to sort of, how do I explain it? I'm fumbling a little bit.
It's all right. It's hard to explain something because you haven't told this story before.
No.
Like it's one of those things where it's like this is Raquel's first podcast, by the way.
Can you tell?
but you're trying to explain how you get those things and how you like. It's obviously all in your head, and that's probably the hardest part about even bringing stuff on. It's this whole brand and all the things you've done is all the IP of this company is in your head and the product is in your head. And you're trying to explain it to staff, and then staff trying to, that even goes down to sales reps and stuff. Then they're out there trying to sell the thing that triggered it for you and get them emotionally invested and get your customers emotionally invested in it. I think that's important.
Yeah, and I think like we try and like with any sort of photo shoots or content days that we do, we try and sort of create another feeling, because I don't think it's a one feeling per perfume. So, I mean, we have a lot of fun with that, and having the team now to do that, we've got 7 different minds and brains and creatives that sort of have their input, and input is very welcome, and we're an open door sort of policy company. So
how many people do you have working for you?
I think we have 7 females, and we've just got our first male in finance. Don't trust women with money. But yeah, we're an office full of queens.
How good. Where are you guys based?
In South Sydney, in Tarrant Point. We've just moved into our new office and warehouse about 2 months ago now.
Cool.
I think we were in my garage not that long ago, maybe 9 months ago.
It feels. We were in a garage. We would have been in a garage 9 months ago as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Twins.
Yeah. It's quite scary. Like this garage was like filled with shit on one side and then filled with mixes on the other side. Like, do you guys, what happens with packaging? Like obviously packaging, do you guys make your packaging in Australia, import the bottles and stuff like that?
Yeah, so fragrance is made here in Sydney. Bottles we import from Spain.
Yep.
And our beautiful packaging we import from China.
Yep.
Anyone that wants to start a packaging company, it's no one in here in Australia does it.
So we've got a really good packaging company that does stuff here, but they're like the cost difference is crazy. Like and then a lot of time they go overseas anyway. Like when we start to get to really big numbers or custom printed stuff, they end up going overseas anyway. Yeah. And the money the cost comes down, but you also have somebody in between there doing all the hard work, negotiating and all those kind of things. So
yeah, but that's really it. We try to be as sustainable as possible.
Yep.
So I think we're the only perfume brand that we've noticed in David Jones, for example, that isn't wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
So we sort of refuse to do that, and we just provide extra sleeves in case of damage. So and I think that's one of our sort of point of difference that customers have really pointed out, that we don't have any extra packaging.
Anything that's over and above.
Yeah, I mean, like all of the little sort of cardboard printouts that we have in point of sales or printed not far from our office, the local printer. That's really it.
Everything's recycled. Like it looks like most like
all
like most things
recyclable.
Like this box is all recyclable. Yep. That's really cool. Like and you guys are in David Jones?
Yeah, we're in David Jones.
Cool. How many stockists do you have?
I think we've got it in Australia, 85.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've soft
So
launched
cool.
into the US.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Soft
You
launch into
said
the
that
US.
so sweetly.
I love it. It's so good. I'm such a packaging person. Like
Yeah.
it's such a that's what makes me pick up a product or like a product.
We actually just redid our packaging, so the branding's very similar. We've just sort of changed the shape. I mean, our 100ml boxes are beautiful, but they're so huge. So we've condensed them down slightly, and just made them a little bit more luxe, but still that same look and feel, and cardboard, and just a bit more durable.
Was the idea to break the mold of regular, like without, in the marketplace in perfume, there's, all the luxe brands do their own versions of. Marc Jacobs is the price pointed version of. Do you know what I mean? Like they are wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
The packaging isn't to me. It's not appealing. All their bottles they spend lots of money on designing bottles and custom bottles and all those kind of things. But you guys have just simplified. It feels like you've just simplified the process, and it's about what's in the bottle and being able to make the outside product look, beautiful, to be able to make somebody want to pick it up.
Yeah, I think me myself, I'm very simple. Like I'm all black. I look like I'm going to a funeral every day. I like simple things. I think it's just easy, crisp, clean. So I think it's all happened very organically. At the very beginning, I had completely different packaging. I think you got to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
I had.
Oh, you should see our first packaging was so bad. It was so shit.
Ours was cute.
It's like Mikey's favorite thing. It was like a like I got to explain it to you because it was mad. It was like I don't even know. It was like a kid's drink bottle, right? Like this big, and it had a plastic thing that went inside the drink bottle that had the liquid in it. So it was a bottle, a plastic bottle inside a glass bottle, and then it had a toothpick and a rubber band inside it, and you would tip out of the plastic bottle into the glass bottle, put some ice in, put your tequila in, shake it in the glass bottle, and then pour it out. But there was a way that you could strap the toothpick to the lid of the bottle and use it as a strainer. And that was his light bulb.
I think we need to use that on the new
on the news. But like you obviously have to start from somewhere, and then that's like that. We'll come back to that idea and figure out how we can make something like that actually work. But you have to make something that's commercially viable and feels right for your business.
Yeah, I think people like pretty things and nice things.
Absolutely.
But like I said, we keep evolving, and as we grow, our budgets grow, and we can do more things. But I mean, I think when we do go into David Jones, for example, I think we really stand out because we're this black box. We're not a pretty dainty perfume like the Marc Jacobs and the Chloe's, which are all beautiful. But you won't catch me wearing pink very often.
No, and it's like it does stand out to what's in the marketplace. What's your favorite part of the whole process from like start to finish? Is it the reward of walking down walking down the street, like they smelling of it, or is it like
I love it. And like people that like, because where I live in Cronulla, it's a small little, the Shire bubble, I'm sure everyone's heard of. And I'll go to a wedding and half the wedding's wearing one of my perfumes. It's
pretty
insane.
Cool.
And then I'll obviously people posting photos when they purchase bottles on Instagram, and I get a kick out of that. And there's so many things. I love the creative process of it. And now that we are doing more of these big sort of photo shoots and sort of production behind the perfume, it's so much fun.
That's so cool. Like that'd be pretty cool.
There's
like
not a part that I don't love.
You don't love. It's pretty cool when we walk into a venue and they're serving our cocktails and they see like everyone drinking it. That's my favorite part.
We actually share quite a few stockists, I think.
Do we? How cool. I love that we're in like non-traditional alcohol retailers. Like it's opened up so many doors for us. It's opened us up to a whole new market. Like we're in 60 Universal stores around Australia. Like that's like, and typically their customers are alcohol drinkers. Like like they go get a fresh shirt or a fresh dress or jeans or whatever it is. They wear it out and they drink and pre-drinks all. Like we're talking to the same people, and they've never been able to do anything with an alcohol company because they can't sell alcohol. They can't promote alcohol within their brand guidelines and all those kind of things. And then legally they can't sell it. So it's been nice. That's pretty cool that we're sharing
Yeah.
stockers with people.
I know.
That's awesome.
Twins again.
Yeah, twins. You've come from a corporate background. How do you
Yes.
go about making like? What was the culture like at your corporate background? Was it corporate?
Corporate. Oh, at the start, they were a startup, so it was amazing at the start. And then as the business grows, we had thousands of employees. It has to almost turn into that more of a corporate environment. We are definitely not a corporate environment. Who is Elijah?
How's your office set up? Is like communal work, like
All
out? We've got
communal.
all communal work desks and stuff like that.
Open plan office. I mean, there's not that many of us either, so it's quite comfortable for us to all sit together. But Joe and I, so Joe's my
Joe's sitting in the room over here listening, drinking margaritas over in the corner.
Just getting a bit slanty-eyed. So Joe's my executive assistant, and I mean, she does absolutely everything. She could run the company for me.
You can retire.
I could probably retire.
Go, Joe.
We sit closer
Do you need a job?
She's not available. We pretty much share a desk. We work so closely with each other, and a lot of the girls that work with me I've known for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So Joe's I think the only one that I didn't know. But yeah, we've all kind of like, sounds lame, but we're like, a family, and we have work time, and when we're in work mode, we're in work mode. But when we're out of work, we're friends and can talk about normal stuff, and
funny.
it's nice.
Tom, who's sitting over here on his phone, who's actually recording the podcast. He's actually my best mate, but he's our content creator within this business. Me and Jeremy and Mikey have known each other for ages. Our warehouse manager is a good friend of mine. Like we've all got friends in this business. There's lots of people who have worked for Jeremy and Mikey before as well, and their friends. It makes it feel like family.
Yeah.
I don't know stuff. If you don't like coming to work, but I'm pretty sure they all like coming to work. Like it doesn't feel it's a job, and there is work to do, but it doesn't. It's not, it's Monday.
Not watching the clock. And, it's nice. I think we have a really beautiful environment. I think I said from the start to everyone, you don't work for me, you work with me.
Yeah.
And everyone that I've hired because they're smarter than me at their role, and they
absolutely number one rule.
They teach me how to do things. Otherwise, you're not hiring the right people, and your business isn't going to grow. So, no, I have full faith in all the girls that work with me. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, very lucky.
Thanks,
girls.
Go the girls. Yeah, the girls.
Yeah, the girls.
Your last, I said to you just before, I was like, your last name is obviously Bouris. I was like, the question was in here, but like, do you have I don't mean to excuse my pun, the mentor. Do you have a mentor? Like you have some access, like you have access to somebody like that, right? But whether you use them or not, that's your prerogative. But do you have anybody that's kind of helped you along the way to kind of guide you, or those people that you've hired, are those people, or?
Yeah, I think so. My husband, Adam, he's very business smart. He's
what's Adam do?
So he just sold one company. He's a sort of, I always say this wrong, it's like a kitchen designer. So he's more of like an interior designer, and he had a team of installers, but they did all areas of the house.
Yeah, cool.
So he just sold that after I think 7 or 8 years of having that business. So
how good's that?
Yeah, and he's moved into the tech world. So he and his brother co-founded an app called Snatch It. So it's like an influencer sort of shopping platform. It's look out Instagram.
Shout out Snatch It.
Shout out Snatch It. So he's sort of in that tech world now. And then he helps out with Who is Elijah. I'm not very systematic numbers person. I'm that big visionary, like, yes, we can do everything, say yes, work it out later, where he's more of that, like, well, no.
You know that meme that like when the numbers start coming in, like what's it like the trilogy or whatever it is, and all the numbers go everywhere, and you're like,
me.
There's somebody puts a profit and loss state in front of me, and you're like, whoa, well, Betty, get me a drink.
I spent that much money?
That's me.
Yeah, that's me. So he's been amazing from the start, and he's very like entrepreneur sort of person. So he's sort of rubbed off on me. I love listening to podcasts. I couldn't even list how many, but those beauty sort of more female sort of driven podcasts. Love them. I've learned so much from them.
Just learning.
Just
like taking in information.
Never know too much.
And then roll it out. If it suits you, you roll it out.
Yeah.
How good.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a break and we'll come back.
Thank you.
This week's episode is sponsored by our sales team. They're out there trying to get Mr. Consistent on the shelves for you guys. If there is a bottle shop or venue where you think Mr. Consistent should be, definitely let us know. Now back to the episode.
We talked, what did we just talk about? Fuck, we went through it just before, didn't we? Absolutely went through it. Like how you process, how you make the perfumes.
Yeah.
When you work with this perfumer, perfumer, spat everywhere.
You're struggling with this word, aren't you?
Do you dictate to him, you go like, these are the things I want, this is what I want it to feel like? Do you write a script for it, or how does that process work? Because it's your IP, it's end of the day, and you're trying to make somebody make a smell that you
he gets it. So straight from start he gets it. So I'll go and have meetings with him, not really meetings, but sort of casual. They have like a scent library.
Yeah.
So we'll sit there for maybe an hour or two.
What do you smell in? Do you do the coffee beans in between?
No, I haven't felt like I needed to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, but
it's me and David Jones.
So he sort of talks about the scents, what they smell like and what they work well with, I guess it's like making a cocktail, like what works with what. Yep. And then we'll go through sort of rounds of like samples and just get it right. And I mean, he's really good. I think there was maybe 2 samples. Haze was probably the hardest to make. Yep. And then Muse probably topped that actually. It was quite hard to make. But Abdul, our perfumer, he just really gets it. And once we sort of get going, we'll come up with the name along the way. Yeah. And then we'll give him sort of the fragrance bio and the backstory about it. And then he's amazing.
Do you like R&D this stuff on your friends? And you're like, oh, here's a bunch of little sample tubes, wear it out and see if people compliment you and stuff?
Yeah. Definitely. Now we've got the girls.
Now you got the team.
Yeah, I've got the team so we can sort of do it in-house. But absolutely. And I'll usually wear it for 3 to 6 months before we even launch it, just to make sure that we love it. But you also need to test on different skins because people's
reactions and stuff like that.
I found like Muse is amazing on men. Yep. But I originally thought it was maybe more of a feminine scent, but I just think it's amazing on men. So
the people's like, was it pheromones or whatever it is, like change the way,
levels.
the way they like. I imagine my pH is really high because I just drink cocktails all day. I'm super acidic. Is it low or high? I don't know. Low. But like, does that change the way the scent can react? So like when you try it, you're like, oh, I love it, and then you put it on your husband for saying, you're like, oh no, or like I don't know.
I've never had like a
dramatic.
Never had a dramatic change. Yep. I think when you wear perfume yourself, you think you might not be able to smell it still, but then you'll walk past someone and they're like, oh, you smell bloody amazing. Yeah. So it is a lot stronger than what you think. And I think I've been around the fragrances for so long, I am just so immune to them almost now. But it's a really fun process and it's very creative. And I think I would love to go to France and maybe do like a perfume course, but
that'd be cool.
Thank you, COVID.
You ain't going anywhere. This is we all talked, like we sent out to our team, we're like, what questions should we ask for? And somebody was like, how the bloody hell, like we're doing it, but people know what a margarita should taste like. They know what an amaretto sour should taste like. Surf stitch and all those kind of things. You got to do a bit of selling on what it tastes like and telling the story. How the bloody hell do you sell something that has a smell through Instagram, Facebook, like ads, like photos? Like gone are the days where, you open a magazine, you get like the little sample, like scratch and sniff.
They should bring that back.
Should do scratch and sniff. That'd be sick. Scratch and sniff. Who was Elijah? My kid still has it.
Scratch, sniff and sip. That sounds like a fun little party.
But what's the marketing tactics there? How do you go about that? How do you sell the story? Are you selling a lifestyle? What do you like? How do you pitch it?
I do not come from a marketing background, so it's all been very organic. It was funny on the plane to Queensland today, Joe and I scrolled right back to the very beginning of our Instagram, and I think we nearly had a tear in my eye about how just far we've come. And, I think Who is Elijah it's messy. It's not too planned or thought out, I don't think. We love Pinterest, we love Instagram, we get a lot of inspiration from our surroundings. But I think we had a photo shoot last week, and I think the theme was sex, drugs and rock and roll. So I think just really wanting to be that fun party, crazy.
Create an aesthetic around the brand and the shoots and the content that you
not
make.
too serious.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. Like that's what we do. We don't like when we sit down, our team sits down and we go, rightio, we're launching our midnight martini, which was we were like, it's a pre-drinks, the girls are going out. She's putting like red lipstick on in a mirror. She's drinking a black cocktail. And then we went to like World Cocktail Day and we actually pulled the personalities out of the bottle, and we were like, the stitch up was just like straight up Byron Bay gypsy hippie that's up surfing early and those kind of things. So I think that's important to you're selling the lifestyle, the aesthetic and all the things that you stand for as a brand, your packaging, all those kind of things help, I think.
Yeah, and I think it, one day it might be very sort of not dark, like rock star vibes, but then we might have this really beautiful girl on a beach with a perfume bottle. So I think that can transfer to many different scenarios and sort of feelings. And we just hope you guys wear it on those days that you really want to remember forever. And we have a lot of bridal parties actually that buy his, her and her for their bridal parties.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. That's pretty special, yeah.
I don't know, when I put I get shitty at myself when I walk out of the house and I don't put it on because that's, I don't know, something about putting perfume on that makes you feel like you're ready for the day, you're good to go. Like
the last piece to your outfit almost.
Yeah. You spray it on your clothes and that's what you smell like for the rest of the day. Everyone's like walking in, you smell good. Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Yes, I do.
It's something people compliment on is smell. Like it's one of the, you can smell it across a room. You can smell it you can smell somebody walking down the street sometimes if it's strong enough. But
and I think if someone takes the time to stop you and say, hey, you smell really good, you must smell really fucking good.
Yeah. Either that or
you must be wearing Who is Elijah.
Either that or they're hella creepy.
Hella creepy.
Do you guys do all your own content creation? Like you sit down, you obviously build Pinterest boards. You said Pinterest is a big thing. You build your Pinterest boards. So you guys have, you've got a team of 7. What do they all do?
Yeah, so kind of
Besides
told you.
Joe, we know what Joe does.
Joe drinks a lot.
Do another margarita, Joe? Are you good? Are you full?
And she's single. She's single.
Joe's single.
Joe's single.
Oh, funny enough, Tom's single as well. That's weird.
Hey,
how you going?
he's weird.
I'll get the step ladder out.
Hey, Tom.
Tom's really short.
No. Yes, I'll talk you through a bit of the job roles. So I sort of Chief Creative Officer.
Yep.
And then
CFO.
Definitely not CFO. We'd go under. Our beautiful Sammy, she's our wholesale manager.
Yep.
She's incredible. Emma, she's our sort of inventory manager. I've had a mind blank of what her merchandise planner.
Yep.
And then in the warehouse we've got Kiki and Bree.
Do you guys ship everything? No 3PL. You do it all yourself?
Yeah, all ourselves. We actually hand fill every bottle.
Do ya?
Yes.
So do we. It's sick.
Yeah,
it's
we love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Do you have like a little? Is it like how's it done? Is it a kitchen or it's got ethanol in it, so it's very sterile?
Yeah. So in think of like a sauce bottle almost, like clear sort of bottle. Sauce bottle in, liquid in, wipe the glass and use these little hand tools. It's really hard to do. So I'm trying to explain it with my hands, but you can't see me.
They will be on YouTube. Yeah. They'll be able to see it, but in the video, she's got like a turkey baster. We use a turkey baster.
That's a good idea.
I'm not shitting you. Like we've got a bottle filler, but then we top all the way to the top. And we use a turkey baster to get to the top. Okay. You should see this thing in action.
I might come down and have a look at your processes. But then, of course, the perfume bottle, where the pump is, it's crimped on there. So we have to do all that and we label and we put it in a box. And
hand label?
Hand label. No machines.
No machines.
Yeah.
I feel you, sister. Yep. That's where we're at.
Yeah. We could honestly... Our warehouse could have no power and we'd still...
I'm going to take you to our other after this. I'm going to take you to where we manufacture everything. So it's crazy.
We'll compare notes.
Absolutely.
Yes, and then we've got a few casuals that come in and help us as well because we are filling a lot of bottles, which is amazing. But
you just told how many tons of her did you tell me you just ordered?
A ton.
This is that's insane.
Ton.
A ton.
Yeah.
That's not even That's not even bottles. That's just a ton
That's
of
just the liquid.
pure liquid.
Yeah, I think what is that, like 1,000 liters?
How many bottles? Like
Depends
say
what
they're
sizes you
100
have.
mil. Well, that's easy math, but I still
Yeah.
can't work it out.
I'm not the CFO, remember?
I'm not answering it either.
Oh man, I can't do math at all. And then you guys have like, you're telling me you've got it's called Our House,
Yeah.
which is your office space, but you have like a bit of other stuff going on in there.
No, so our house is separate to Who is Elijah.
Oh, so you don't work out of there?
No.
Yeah, right.
No. So our house is in St. Peter's.
Yep.
Is that Inner West almost? In
Yeah,
Sydney?
in the West, yep.
Should know
Yeah,
the
it's in
answer to
around
that.
there, yeah.
So our house, I sort of came up with the concept in August last year. I had never had to create my own content before, and I was working with photographers, and they were very expensive, and just not having control of the content yourself and
Yeah.
all of that jazz. I knew there must be a better way, and I was listening to a podcast, and they sort of were discussing a similar concept, and did some research, and we didn't have anything that I could find here in Sydney or Australia for that matter. And yeah, I just took the plunge and found a showroom and opened it, and here we are 6 months later.
Have you got any anyone reputable using that space?
Yeah, we've done quite a few events so far. We opened the doors up for influencers to come in, and we have some brands sort of in the showroom where they can basically come in, try the products, take photos with it, and sort of that more organic
You guys do like your showings and stuff out of there when you have brands come in?
Yeah, we're still quite young, so that's the goal with what we would like to do. But I'd say 80% of the use of our house is for brands and influencers coming in and using the space to create content and for photo shoots. And it's a really cool space. It's like what's that concrete called when it's like rough concrete?
Oh, like the polished concrete or whatever it is.
Yeah, exposed concrete.
Yeah, exposed. Yeah.
It's sort of like that. It's white corrugated iron. And it's just it's really cool, like natural light. And there's
you can just walk in with an iPhone and start making content in there.
Yeah, we don't have any of the lighting. Photographers have brought in before, but it's just easy. Just easy.
So cool. Do you spend most of does that just run itself, or you got to spend a bit of time on it, or you have somebody running that for you?
So the drunk Joe over there is
Margarita Joe.
Margarita Joe is also the operations manager of our house. So she's really busy. But yeah, it kind of runs itself, to be honest. We just have online booking, and then
away you go.
Yeah, away you go.
That's so cool. There's not many. We've got a couple of there's spaces around here, but that's what we're this podcast studio that we're in will be leased out for people to come in and make content. I don't feel like there can ever be enough content. You know what I mean? Like fresh, new, and that whole studio space that I walked you through that comes up to you, that'll be very similar to what that will be for here on the Gold Coast. And people can come in. You know, we're working with influencers. They're creating content. Makes sense for them to be able to just come in, have access to shakers, ice, drinks, booze, all those things, and actually make their content in-house in here if they don't want to make a mess at home or whatever it is, and feel organic. And it's a bit of a buzz around the office. Like I walked through before, it's like we've got all of our staff are under, I think the oldest person in here is actually Tom's dad in the warehouse. He's like 50, how old is he? He's like 50, 60 or something.
60 something.
Yeah, but but then the rest of them are all under 30 or 33 and under, most of them. So really young. All of our staff are in our TikToks, in our videos and stuff. So we want to have a really cool space where if they want to create content, they can go create content for our company, for themselves, whatever.
So good.
We love it. So good. We're going to play this little card game here. Where do we go? I pre-warned you about this. Are you like one of those dark horses that have got a real crazy childhood, through your teenage years, where you just sent it all the time?
No comment.
It's a yes.
I think this is what the game is.
It's a yes if I've ever heard it.
It's a yes from me.
All right. I'm going to give you a couple of cards and you can choose. Here we go.
What's the game?
I should probably mention that.
I'm going to have a drink for this.
I get really excited because it's actually quite funny. Some good shit comes out of this. This is the ghetto version of the Shake Up. It's coming. It might be out when this podcast comes out, or it'll be out in the next week or so. It's a never have I ever card game. Comes in like a cute little pack. Get your cards and you can get lit up with your friends and learn some.
Get to know each other.
Yeah. Tell some weird stories.
Heaps weird. Let's get weird.
All right. Here we go. I've answered a couple of them, so I'm like trying to avoid the ones that I've answered. That's all because I've told stories. Told. If you haven't done it, if you haven't done it, just put the card down. We'll go to the next one.
Okay.
But if you've done it, got to hear a story. Unless it's like incriminating.
Can you plead the fifth?
Yeah, maybe. Depends.
No, I don't think
Haven't
I've done
done
that.
it. What was it?
Sexted the wrong person.
Let's go.
Befriended someone famous and reaped the benefits. No, but I probably would.
Look out, famous person. At least you're honest.
Gone on a date just to get a free meal. Definitely not.
How long have you and your partner been together?
4 years.
So you guys have been together for a while. I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like that's a Tinder thing or like a Hinge or like
I've never been on Tinder.
Yeah.
Never done a date.
Yeah, I think that's this guy's hitting me up. I'll go get a free meal.
Been a catfish. I'm being really boring. I haven't done
See,
anything.
these are, like a lot of them are millennial questions.
Done a drive by my ex's house. I've done it with my friend for their ex-partner. Shout out Kirby.
Thrown straight under the bus.
You're an
She'll hate
accomplice.
me. I was an accomplice.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
All right, so you done that. All right, what else we got here? Fallen in love with somebody at first glance.
Yes, my darling husband.
Woo!
Cute.
Snuck into a concert.
Yes.
What concert? Do you remember?
It was very embarrassing. Stereosonic.
So you jumped a fence.
17. No, we sort of like snuck through the front.
Oh, I was hoping it was a jump fence story.
No, have you seen the size of me? I'm a midget.
Cried in order to get your way.
God, yeah.
How often?
Probably last week.
What do we got here? Given or received a lap dance? Oh, spillage.
Yeah, I've definitely received. I don't think I've given.
Your husband or?
No, I'm so unco. You saw me make that margarita. Drink.
Haven't been on Tinder, so we won't do that one. Had a paranormal experience?
No, thank God. I'm petrified.
That stuff scares the shit out of me, eh? Giving someone bad advice on purpose.
Ooh, that's very cruel. I don't think so.
That's when I
Not on purpose.
when I read that card, I was like, whoa.
That's someone dark writing that. Oh, every single one of them.
Is that why I got long sleeves on?
No, I like my ones on my arms, but not on the other one.
Flirted with someone you knew was in a relationship.
Probably.
Yeah, good.
Sorry.
Nah, it's
to the girlfriend.
No, sister, what is it? Sisters before misters or something? There's none of that.
None of that. That was fun.
Yeah. There's some funny, yeah.
It went as bad as what I was.
Move overseas for a relationship?
No.
Yeah, there's some dudes. Some people have some like crazy stories or like, yeah, the paranormal. When I get somebody that answers it, they've had a paranormal experience, I'm out.
Yeah, no.
Because people think this joint's haunted.
Why?
Like, I don't know. They reckon that when they're early here in the mornings or here late at night, there's ghosts running around. And we're actually playing a prank on my cousin works in the warehouse, and she's like, we're playing a prank on her. We like wrote a sign, leave something here if you're here or something like that, and then we put like a coffee pot on top of it. Like we like we're just fucking with it.
Cruel.
It's so good. Where do you want to see Who Is Allowed to Go? Where do you want it to go?
Everywhere.
Everywhere? You started with the US?
Yeah, so we've sort of slowly launched into the US in the last couple of months. So we've got 2 stores, and then we actually partnered with the Four Seasons in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So yeah, they started selling our perfume, sort of in their like little mini shops that they have there.
Yep.
And then we have a store in Aspen, Colorado, and in Montauk, New York.
Doing it all yourselves?
Yeah, so we do everything.
Where's the store in Montauk?
I
I got married there. That's why I'm asking.
I forget
I've
the
been there.
address. Don't put me on the spot like that. Joe will
Shout out
get
to
it.
the Montauk stalkers.
It's Wild Blue. They're near. I'm quite certain. No, I'm not going to answer because I'll probably get it wrong.
She is from Sydney.
Sasha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sasha Benz and
yeah.
Ollie Benz. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know them. I know who they are.
Yeah.
Because she actually does the marketing for the place where we got married. There you go. Surf
the
Lodge.
Surf Lodge.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool area.
Very cool.
That's
I've never
awesome.
been, but yeah, very cool. And we just partnered with a 3PL over in the States, so we're shipping our product over there, so then we can open up our online channel.
Yep.
On the ground, which is good.
How good.
Yeah.
And then
exciting.
what's next after that? UK or like where do you?
Yeah, I think the UK, Europe. I think I'm just trying to sort of navigate with the licensing requirements that we need, if any.
What's the deal with like because
I don't
it's
know.
obviously got like ethanol in it, which is alcohol. Like, is there?
It's quite hard to ship.
Yeah. And is there like I don't know? There's because you're not drinking it, consuming it. There's alcohol tax in what we do, but are there massive hurdles in different areas in different places, and then shipping it because it is obviously super flammable.
I mean, how flammable is it really? Yeah, I mean, the only hurdles that we've had is the freight.
Yep.
But we've found a carrier that's much better than the previous one that we were using and much more well priced.
Yeah.
So now we're just ready to go, to be honest.
Good to go.
Yeah, just trying to find perfect retail partners for us. Just being, I mean, like we said, it's really hard to sell through a photo. So I think our sort of business model is going down the route of having stockists on the ground and then building up our reputation, and then hopefully we can sort of build our own online.
Find a distributor or find a team over there that has the same vision as you guys have to roll it out.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
What's that saying? The world's your oyster.
Absolutely. Like it feels like online and e-commerce and these kind of products, you are open to the world. Like you're open to business to the world as long as you can get your product there. You're good to go. Like so many, if you make windows, you make windows in Australia. Like you're not open to the world. It feels like where these kind of products are opening up, and that's
Definitely.
really cool. Where can listeners get their hands on these products? Where are you? You got us like a stockist map we can direct them to, or you got like a sell online as well?
Yeah, so we sell online on our website, whoiselijah.com.au. We do have a stockist page with a list of all of our stockists there. We're bloody everywhere across Australia.
Any pinch me moments, like holy
So
shit,
many.
like somebody's worn it, or you've like
So many.
you've been introduced. It's like, is there any that like really stand out?
Yeah, I mean, when
You can name drop.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Elle Ferguson, she has just been so kind to me. She actually smelt her on someone who was dropping up some clothes to her, and she, her and her partner Joel asked what perfume they're wearing, and they're wearing her, and she went and actually bought it from
That's
the
sick.
store.
That is so
She
cool.
posted a photo, and I think I cried and peed my pants.
All at the same time.
All at the same time. And she's done it time and time again, and she's just been so lovely to me. Thank you, Elle. And I think anyone that buys it, I mean, if people are willing to actually spend their money on my product, like, wow, like, thank you. And even just the influencers that we give to, and they're also happy to just post and send us, paragraphs about how beautiful the perfume is. And it's just
when you get reviews through and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I know we've never really had any bad.
No bad reviews.
No, not really. No.
We've had
Can't please everyone, but
can't please everyone. We've had a couple with like your Bloody Mary's too spicy, or your
okay, Karen.
I wasn't going to say it, but
We're all thinking it.
Like your customers are like your biggest advocates. Like I love that shit. Like we've given it to heaps of people. You're like, whoa. But like I think even when Universal were like, we want to range your product, like we believe in your product. We heard about your story. Like makes complete sense. They're the pinch me moments for me versus celebrities.
Yeah,
a lot of the
when
time, but-
stores reach out to us, like we had a really exciting one today. I won't name drop that one. Reach out to us today, and it's just like they're a mega company, and it's just like, how the fuck do you know about me?
Is it a beauty company?
No,
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Beauty's hidden. Like I feel like all the like all those beauty stores have had a bit of a change as well. Like, are you in any of those beauty chains or anything like that?
Yeah, so Adore Beauty.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Huge.
huge.
Massive.
So we launched with them in January, and holy shit, like incredible the power that
And
they
like all the
have.
YouTubers and the all the content creators that are creating all that beauty content,
Yeah.
like that
It's
that
insane.
whole world is,
It's insane.
if anybody like do research, but like that world is insane.
Yeah.
Like what's his name, Jeffree Star or whatever.
Jeffree Star.
Yeah, that's him. Like this guy pulls rock, like he's a rock star.
Yeah. It's wild.
Rock star, it's wild.
No,
Pretty cool.
I wish I could. We had the confidence to go on camera and do it, but I'm just like such a little nerd.
Margarita Joe, you're up.
Margarita Joe.
Very good. Anyway, thank you so much for coming in. I really
you.
appreciate you coming all this way, having a chat, telling us your story, telling us how you make products, do all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting, like making flavors and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really interesting to me, and how you guys have grown so quickly, and congratulations on
Thank
everything. I wish you
you.
all the best in the future, and let's take over the world.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, leave a review. Go show the Shake Up some love and stay connected. Don't forget you can watch all of our episodes on YouTube. Also, jump over to our Shake Up Cocktail Gang Facebook page, where you can find out who's coming up on the podcast. And if you've got questions for them, I'll ask the bloody questions. You can also use the code SHAKEUP for 10% off on mrconsistent.com.au. Thank you so much for listening, and just remember, shit that's fresh.